Alright, so as we jump right into the first stage with Claris here. It's the Spring Valley stage. This is actually the same stage they used for the Christmas Nights. Christmas Nights into Dreams. It was only this stage. And it was funny, you played it with both characters, and when you play as Elliot, you go in the opposite direction. It was just like a mirrored, all the laps were just basically mirrored, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I played the Christmas Night sampler. There was a lot that I did like about it. You know, it had... I'm actually gonna go, try to, not just to build up the score really, but just try to like build up my meter for my dashes. These loops. Oh shit! Too low. Okay, that's to that. There. But like you had what was it? The presents, because after each round you played, and you had to basically get the best score every time in order to get like the most, because it was a matching game that you played. You played this matching game after you were done with with your run, and you start off with like, what was it? I think 8 presents or whatever. And then you move on to opening the presents for Claris, and then opening for Elliot. And there was just so much of them, like it built up, for each character. And anyways, one of the presents, there's actually quite a lot. There's different artwork you can see. There's different like advertisements, not advertisement. Different products like figurines and that type of thing that they sold on the side here for this game, and I thought that was really cool to see. There was also some modes where you can do I'm trying to remember the name, or I'm trying to remember what it was called, like time attack or something like that. No, link attack is what it was. And basically, for every item and loop you get, like you see right now on the screen how I've got, I can't get that yet. Going through each loop and picking up each item, you see how it says 3, now we're up to 10 link, and basically you keep that going. You try to get the highest link you can, and you were doing that in one of Elliot's stages. So it wasn't just like you had this stage to play in. There was other stages you could play too, with that type of mode, the link attack and all. I can't even remember the name of it. That snow stage with Elliot. But that was one that you did, and also there was, you played in this stage. And you could play as Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog into Dreams. I was like, are you serious? That was really cool to me. Oh yeah, and this was obviously the only boss you could play in Christmas Nights. And it was cool because, like, depending on like the time, because it would literally look up the system memory for what year and what time and all that stuff, and it depending on what time of the depending on where you were at, change the title screen, change the look of the level, because and then change the look of Knights himself and the boss. Actually, the boss actually was kind of decked up in Christmas style. Knights had this red look, Christmas theme. I mean, obviously the whole thing is, themed to be around the holidays, and the whole stage itself. Did I not do? Oh, there it goes. I was like, wait a minute, it's a little delayed. So yeah, there was actually a lot with Christmas Nights, I really did like the. But anyways, the Sonic into Dreams was really cool. You just ran around and just you did the same thing basically as what we're doing right now, collecting those spheres for bring them back to the shrine, and then the boss fight though with Sonic was really funny because you were up against defeat him faster, get a higher score, blah blah blah. But the boss for that was Robotnik, and he was basically Puffy, and you would just do this. It was the same boss fight, but he just looked like Robotnik. It was actually really funny. I actually cracked up the first time I saw that. Oh man, this was another stage that was a little on the laggy side when you were playing on the Saturn. And also the next stage after this, Soft Museum, that we'll get to here. That was a little played a little laggy here and there. I'm actually kind of excited to play the stage without any lag issues. Just because again, it looks so good. It does. It looks so good. I love this game so much, and I know I said that like a gajillion times in the first video, but honest to God truth, guys, I love this game. But no, and speaking of this game, when they were making when I first saw the trailer, the E3 announcement trailer, anyways, that Nights was coming on to the Wii, the original Wii. Oh my God, I was so excited for this. I showed all of my friends and and I watched that stupid trailer like so many times. It was stupid. Like I couldn't get over the fact that, oh man, after so many years they finally are bringing a new Nights game for the Wii. And it pissed me off because it was only for the Wii. Because at the time I only had my PS3, and I'm thinking, shit, now I have to drop money into getting a Wii, because I was getting that game. Like, I was totally getting that game. I'm not gonna lie though, I was a little disappointed. I mean, there was a lot of little things that bugged me about it, and the voice acting was cheesy as shit, because they actually had voice acting in it, and I was like, I didn't think there was going to be. I didn't think they would actually bring, voice acting to this type of game, but they did. And I mean, it was basically like the same thing as the Saturn version. At least they were trying, that's what they were going for. But there was a couple other things, you actually were forced to play as the kids, in that game. I can't remember the names of those two. I mean, I wasn't a fan of it. The controls were really, I didn't appreciate the controlling with the Wiimote and the nunchuck. But it was funny because you had other options, and I used the GameCube controller, but it was still like, it felt just off to me. It really did. It felt really, it just wasn't what I was expecting. Like, the controls were just not solid. They weren't there. I mean, if you try it for yourself, you'll know what I'm talking about, but I don't know. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and but it just I don't know, because I was expecting this new game. I mean, I kind of was expecting the idea that it was going to be very similar to this game, but Journey of Dreams, and that's the name of the game. That was the actual title name. Oh shit, we got 15 seconds. Damn. So, what was I saying? Yeah, it was the Journey of Dreams, and it just, I don't know. The two-player verse was kind of interesting. You could race, between Nights and Rialo, or like just, versing each other, which was not the same as the Saturn version. I mean, you just were chucking these big old boulders at each other, that's basically all it was. You know, but the racing part of it all was pretty cool to me. I thought that was interesting. And it wasn't all bad. I mean, there were some stages I did appreciate. I know I'm kind of talking a little more negative about it, but there were a few stages I did appreciate. I don't know, it just wasn't what I was expecting. I guess I had a higher expectation of it, I suppose. Like, you know, with these stages, I'm just pretty much rushing through these. I'm not trying to get the best score possible. Oh, this boss, I forgot about this. Yeah, we have to shoot our way through this little, through this tank here and try to... Are you serious? He actually hit me? Oh, there we go. We got him. There's one hit. I think you have to do this like a few times. And there's another one. But yeah, it's. I guess I just had a higher expectation of it. But I was so like, and then seeing more trailers as they came about, I just got more and more excited for it. I still definitely prefer this game over that version any day of the week. And I guess another reason too, like the reason why I had such high expectation of it, just because this game was so good. Just everything about this I loved, and typically that does happen. You know, they'll try to bring something back that was so successful, and it's a 50-50 chance. Every time it is a 50-50 chance. You run the risk of either putting out something that's shitty compared to the very first whatever game you're talking about, or it goes the other way where it's just it worked out so well that you know, most people would will forget about the first one because of that fact that it was so good. And that's kind of rare these days. I don't typically come across a game where it's better than the first. Not like it was, you know, years ago for, like, say, the original PlayStation. Hell, there was even some ones on PS2 or like 64. The Genesis. You know, there was a lot of games that came out after, you know, the first ones. And again, it doesn't really matter what you're talking about, but there was a lot. And it's just, I miss those days. I think the early 90s was probably the best time to be a gamer. And then as we just like evolved with, all this new hardware and, you know, all these other companies coming about, Sony getting into the game and Microsoft, and you know, it's just there really is a pretty good history behind games. It really is. I'm fascinated with it, actually. Knowing a little bit of backstory, you know, about how, you know, this came to be and, you know, why this was, or, you know, it just, I love bouncing off of, I noticed with this stage, too, it wasn't, it doesn't, typically run smooth. Because typically in the, why am I not getting those items? There we go. Okay. It's a little harder to control with, bouncing off these, bouncing off the floor and the ceiling here. Alright, that's enough of that. Yeah, but there's just a really cool history with video games. I really do like the history of video games, no matter what you're talking about. It could be anything with Sega or Nintendo or Sony. It could be with anything really. Oh, there we go. Dash all the way up there. Our dash bar's up. This is the last one, I think. Oh yeah, I think it's the last one. Oh, and here's one of the views where. And this is actually. Damn, I'm missing all these blue orbs. But there was what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, there was a game, and I wanted to mention this earlier too, but there was aside from Journey of Dreams, excuse me, aside from Journey of Dreams, oh no, that wasn't the last. I thought that was the last one. This is the last one. Okay. Besides the Journey of Dreams, the only other thing we got that the only other Knights game we got was on the Sega All-Stars game for the PlayStation 2, which utilized the PlayStation Eye, if you guys remember that. Or the iToy, excuse me. PlayStation Eye is what's on PS3, but the iToy was the first entry, for Sony at all, with the whole motion control. You would see yourself on the screen visually, and you would just wave your arms around, whatever. There was quite a few mini games on that, that me and my friends played. I remember because I used to have that, and I love the fact that there was like Sonic, Crazy Taxi, and a couple others. But the Knights minigame, Knights into Dreams, I thought that was the coolest thing. I was like, oh my god, this is a new Knights game, and even though it wasn't really a new Knights game, I was just happy that they brought us something for us to play. Oh shit, I remember this boss. Can't let him get back to his little... Yeah, no, get away. Oh shit. Oh shit. But I was just happy for the fact that they brought us something again that was Knights related, and I was so happy. I didn't care that playing it for hours on end and my arms were getting tired or whatever. I was just so happy to be playing something that was again related to this game. I was so happy. It just yeah, it was really cool. I really enjoyed playing that a lot. And it was a pain in the ass though, because you really, with the old iToy, you had to really, you had to fill the room up with tons of light. I remember because, we had it all set up and pointing right at us, but it wasn't very responsive to, playing in a slightly darker, I mean, it was in the middle of the day, the drapes were open and all, so plenty of light was coming through, but we just had to put some more on, and it was so frustrating because, we just couldn't get the damn thing to work properly, and once we got more light, it was working, but it's like all that effort to, play these games, it was a pain in the ass. But I didn't care about all that, just because, like I said, I was so happy to be playing anything that was Knights related, and even the Sonic, minigame that was in there was really fun too. Just run through like the special stages in any previous Sonic game that you talk about, and it was just collecting the Chaos Emeralds. That was really cool. You could play a Shadow. It was pretty challenging, just trying to go for that high score. We always had a blast with it.